All right. Good morning and namaste to everybody. So today is Wednesday, so we are going to talk about one of the mudras. And last week I told you that this is a little complicated mudra when you, especially if you are not used to doing the Sarvangasana, and if you are used to doing too much Sarvangasana also, to just deviate a little bit away from it. And the second part of it, this is paying attention to the three parts in your chakras also. And you got to coordinate with that, with your breathing. So before we start, any question on what I taught you last week? So the name of this mudra is Viprit Karni Mudra. Okay, and I told you Viprit means inverted. Viprit. So ulta. Okay, so Karni means one who does. So normal state of the body is we stand on our feet, head up. So in Viprit Karni Mudra, head down and the legs and the feet up. Yeah. So anybody tried doing it? Any difficulty? No?
Is this with the head, like a headstand?
It's headstand is Sarvangasana. It's
Right.
not a Sarvangasana. That's why I told you, I gave you the difference between Sarvangasana and Viprit Karni Mudra. You don't go all the way to the 90-degree angle. Sarvangasana is 90-degree angle. Okay? And the pressure is on your shoulders and your head when you do Sarvangasana.
Right.
When you do Viprit Karni Mudra, the pressure is on your hands and the shoulders.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And the elbows, because you are holding it there and you are keeping your body little tilted, 45-degree angle. Okay, so that's a Viprit Karni. So sometimes it does become difficult. As we get older, if we have not practiced it, definitely it is difficult. So that's why I was telling you, take the benefit of or a support of the wall or some furniture. It's okay to do that way too. I mean, you won't get the full benefit, but you'll get some benefit. Okay, especially from that inverted position. So today I'm going to tell you where you are supposed to keep your mind, like awareness. One is Manipur chakra. The second is Vishuddha chakra. And the third area is called Bindu Visarga. Bindu Visarga. So where is Bindu Visarga? So you all know Manipur chakra is where the navel is. You know Vishuddha chakra is right over here in the throat, in the dip. Bindu Visarga. Bindu Visarga is on the back of your head, where in olden times people used to keep that bodhi, that tuft of the hair in the back, right in the back, right over here. I mean, if you can just see that. That's where Bindu Visarga is. Some people say that is also a chakra. But when we talk about such chakra, that chakra doesn't come into under that terminology. But Bindu Visarga is a point in your body where there's a lot of energy. And then if you pay attention to it, what will happen? Your memory increases and your comprehension increases through Bindu Visarga. It must work on your brain somehow, the subtle energy. Okay. So how do we, what do we really do with these chakras? When you're in that position, the Viprit Karni, when you are inhaling, bring your attention from the Manipur to the Vishuddha. When you're exhaling, bring your attention from the Vishuddha to the Bindu. That's all you are doing. Just keeping your attention between these three points in your body. Forget about the rest of the body. Okay?
Can you please repeat that one more time?
So when you inhale from Manipur to the Vishuddha, when you exhale from the Vishuddha to the bindu. Okay, so that's all you have to, that means forget about the rest of the body. Just these three parts of your body, that's where your awareness should be. Breathe normally. Don't change or manipulate your breathing. Okay, so practice it this week. Rest of it, we talked about it. Lie down, raise your legs, keep them at a 45-degree angle, hands on your hips. Okay, so practice it, please. Okay, and I'm sure you know that the people who should not practice, because this is a little difficult, and mudras are supposed to be, we are supposed to do them for a little longer period of time. So that means the body has to be healthy to keep it in an inverted position. So if you have a high blood pressure, don't do it. Don't do it, please. High blood pressure people should not even do Sarvangasana. Any kind of a heart disease you have, don't do this. If there's an enlargement in the liver and the spleen, don't do it. Enlarged thyroid or excessive toxins in the body, you should not perform this practice. Slip disc, cervical problems, weak blood vessels. Okay, so that means you are not healthy to do it. So basically, mudras are supposed to be done for very healthy people, especially these advanced mudras. If you're pregnant, don't do it. During the menstruations, don't do it. Okay, so these are some of the precautions mentioned in the scriptures for the practitioners. Okay. Yes, Nana.
Harji, yeah. Can you please explain it when you are like holding on 45-degree, you inhale from Manipur chakra and then exhale from, bring your attention to Vishuddha chakra, exhale, and then inhale from there and exhale from the back?
No.
That's
Yeah. While inhaling, see, inhalation and exhalation is happening normally. So only thing you are changing is your awareness.
okay.
So when you are inhaling, just before you start inhaling, bring your attention towards the Manipura and bring it to the Vishuddha during inhalation.
Okay.
When you exhale, bring your awareness from the Vishuddha, because it's already here.
Yeah. Okay.
Because after inhalation, there's an exhalation. During exhalation, from here to the Bindu.
Got it. Okay.
Got it? So it's just like I know you were never, I never talked about the Bindu Visarg. So now just remember that there is a point over here in the back of the head also. And when you are doing this asana, there is a pressure going on over here. Okay, because you are inverted, especially when you do Sarvangasana, there's quite a bit of pressure, but in this also, you are lying down. So pressure is in these, and keep your awareness just switching between one to the other. And then from here to the back, then inhalation again, bring your attention here and move it here. Okay, exhalation from here to there again.
Got it.
Little complicated. That's why I did not teach you last time. Normally what happens is inhalation, our attention goes down. Exhalation, attention goes up. This is little opposite of it. Okay, so that's why you got to just train your mind few times. So that means that your mind is not going anywhere else, but in your breathing and between these 3 points in your body. That's how it becomes a dhyan.
Hershey, good morning.
Good morning, Prem.
Hershey, what's the ideal time that
Ideal time is the morning, because you are inverting your body. So make sure there's no food in your body.
And for how long should we do this exercise?
Okay, when you are done with it, look at your eyes. If your eyes are red, that means you have done too long. So everybody is different. So you got to look at your own capacity. Don't tire yourself too much. Okay?
Well, roughly, what's the range here, Hershey?
I would say do at least for 2 minutes.
Okay.
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 So no less than 2 minutes and no more than half an hour.
Oh, you can go as far as
Oh, yes, you can do it for half an hour, definitely, if you are
healthy and
yeah, if you're healthy also, and if you do other asanas also, and yeah, you can do your whole meditation in this inverted position.
okay.
I think the body will tell you itself.
Body will feel tired, your hands will feel tired, but no
Yeah,
less
but
than,
then it's
try
time to
to
quit.
do it for 2 minutes at least.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's what I would suggest.
Thank you.
Yeah, without knowing, because see, we are not seeing each other. I don't know, because if you're doing it in front of me, I can tell you that stop.
True.
But I cannot watch you now, so that's why um, the directions are a little different, not very clear. So, okay. So anybody else?
Shilpa?
Shilpa, you have a question?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. All right. So Viprit, Karni. So try practice it. Practice it. Okay. Today's topic is
Hershi, Namaste, Manju.
Namaste, Manju.
Could you kindly just show one more time where exactly the
Okay.
location
You
on
know
the back
where
of the head?
where the pandits kept the bodhi?
Yeah. Okay.
Bodhi,
Okay, sure.
bodhi. It's like a right.
Okay.
It's like, if you can see, it's right here. You just feel a very hard part over there, right in the. So all the way up your head, not the sahasrara, but down in the back. Okay. So you can look at some old pictures of the saintly people who kept the bodhi. Okay. So that's where the bindu chakra is. Some people call it a chakra actually. They call it, they say it's the seventh chakra. Okay. So bindu. All right. Practice it and then we can talk more about it. And if I see you, if you come over here, I'll show you how to do it also, and I can show you where that bindu is. Okay. So
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about depression. Okay. Some simple, very common, most of you are in a medical field anyway. I'm sure you know a lot more than what I'm going to tell you. But I am going to tell you towards the end the yogic perspective of depression. What do yogis say? What is depression? And how we can cure it. But first, let's look at some of the depression. What is depression? According to the medical science, depression is a major mental disorder. So it's a common and serious medical illness which negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Fortunately, it is also a treatable, and depression causes feelings of sadness and or a loss of interest in activities which you once enjoyed. And it can also lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. It can diminish your ability to function at work or even at home. And depression symptoms can vary from mild to severe. And what are these symptoms? Feeling sad. That's why people say, I have a depressed mood. Loss of interest or pleasure in activities which you once enjoyed. Some people, they even their appetite changes. They see a loss in weight or even a gain in weight. Trouble sleeping or even sleeping too much. Loss of energy or increased fatigue. Or increase in purposeless activity or slowed movements in speech, worthless feeling, or even guilty, difficulty thinking, concentration, or making decision. And if it's very severe, there could be thoughts of death and suicide. And you might think that, oh, we have felt these from time to time. That's why they say that symptoms must last at least 2 weeks. It's not just a momentarily you feel this way and you are depressed. So symptoms must last at least 2 weeks. And there has to be a change in your previous level of functioning for this to be diagnosed as a depression. Okay, so if somebody was already feeling this way, even before, now too, so that's not a depression. There has to be a immediate change and it should last for a long time. Depression is different from sadness or grief or bereavement. Because when somebody dies in a family, or somebody loses their job, or even an ending of a relationship, they are definitely difficult experiences for a person to endure. It is normal for feelings of sadness or grief to develop in response to such situations, but it's not a depression. Depression is an illness. Sadness is not. What are the main causes of depression then? Abuse, physical, sexual, or emotional abuse can increase the vulnerability to clinical depression. This is called a clinical depression. It could be in the past and it can develop later in life because impressions of that abuse is in your psyche. Certain medications have the side effects. Conflict in the relationships. And doctors even say it could be genetic also. Genetic. So that's why it's very complicated. There are multiple causes of major depression. So severe stress, substances, some medications, drugs, alcohol, medical conditions. So can affect the way your brain regulates your mood. So that's why they say it's a mood disorder also. So depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness. So like inside there is a sinking feeling, loss of interest. Okay, so that's why they say major depressive disorder or a clinical depression. So it affects how you feel, think, and behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems, because if the mind is that way, it will affect your body also. So you may have trouble doing normal day-to-day activities, and you will feel that life is not really worth living. So it's more than a bout of the blues. Okay. And some people think that we can snap out of it. No, you cannot snap out of this kind of a major depression. It may take a long-term treatment, but a person should not get discouraged. Most people with depression feel better with medication, psychotherapy, or both. So if they get the help, they get treated. Okay. And you have heard the depression in the children and the teens also. So they don't know, how do we find out whether they are depressed or not? There are some common signs and symptoms of depression in children and teenagers. Some of those are similar to adults, some of them are different also. So in young children, symptoms may include sadness, irritability, clinginess, worry, aches and pains, refusing to go to school, or being underweight. And in teenagers, symptoms may include, again, sadness, irritability, feeling negative, worthless, even anger, poor performance, or poor attendance at school, feeling misunderstood, like nobody really understands me, and extremely sensitive and want to use the drugs and alcohol. Eating or sleeping too much, self-harm also. Loss of interest in normal activities and avoidance of social interaction. Staying in their own room, locking themselves up. Let's look at the preventions, because I told you earlier, it is preventable. This is not something we got to live with. Prevention. There are some strategies they can help. Take steps to control stress to increase your resilience. And boost your self-esteem. Self-esteem. I'm going to talk about what self-esteem is later on, because there are 4 terms which we often use and we misunderstand. What are those 4 terms? Self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, and self-knowledge. These 4 terms, we should know what they are if you want to understand this depression. So reach out to family and friends, especially in times of crisis, to help you weather rough spells. So okay to reach out. That's why in every culture, wherever there's a death in the family, other relatives come and do the prayers, or they spend time together. They even bring food for them, because that family who's going through this loss doesn't want to cook, doesn't want to eat. Okay, so reach out to family and friends. Get a treatment at the earliest sign of a problem. Not when you have drowned, when you think you are drowning. Earlier you get the help, the better it will be. You don't want the depression to become worse. Consider getting long-term maintenance treatment to help prevent a relapse of symptoms, because it can come back again just like any other illness. So it is an illness. What does yoga say about it? According to yoga, there are 2 kinds of diseases. Agantuk rog. Rog means disease. Agantuk and niraj. Agantuk means the disease which has come from the external factors. Niraj rog is by the internal factors. So this depression is a disease which got created inside of us. Because if it was the death in the family was the reason, then everybody should get depressed. If loss of a job or a breakage of a relationship, then everybody should. Everybody does not. So it is a niraj, it's inside. So that's why it's called a mental disorder. See, mind depends upon two factors. What we take from the senses and what you took in the past. Those are the memories. So there is something we are constantly taking from outside. Sure, we can control it to some extent, but whatever is deposited in there from the past, that is the one which is really causing this severe depression or even a mild depression. So that's why the yogic philosophy says, take care of the mind. Take care of the memories of your mind. Those are your memories. But somebody says, oh, I got so many memories, I'm not aware of it. What should I do? Memories, where did they come from? They came from outside first and they went inside. It's almost like a dirt came from outside and I left my windows and doors open and it just came inside. What do I do now? I need to clean it. External house, we can clean it, but this internal mind, how do we clean it? That's why the Yogi Guru says, keep pouring new good memories so that the old negative ones, they flow out. We have a control over the new ones. We don't have any control over the old ones, but old need to get out for us to feel healthy. So that's why they say, live a very disciplined, well-regulated life in order to prevent any kind of a mental disorder. Well-regulated life. What is a well-regulated life? Get up early in the morning at the same time every day because you want to be healthy. You want to be healthy at the body level also. You want to be healthy at the mind level also. So we are doing it for both, for our complete wholesome personality, getting up at the right time and be happy about it. Try to be happy. Maybe in the beginning you might have to make an effort, but eventually this will become your nature. Be bubbly. So well-regulated life. Eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you are eating at the same time every day. That's a well-regulated life. Do yoga every day. There shouldn't be a day when we don't do yoga. See, other kinds of exercises can be done twice a week or 3 times a week. Yoga is supposed to be done every single day. That's why those yogis, they came up with these exercises which can be done anytime by anybody. There are simpler exercises, little tougher exercises, but moderate exercises, but everybody should do at least 15 to 20 minutes of yogic exercises. Clean inside of you. Do pranayam. The yogis said, anybody who does pranayam can never be depressed. They gave us that surety. Where is it written? We'll study it in Yoga Darshan. In Yoga Darshan, it says, Tatakshiyate prakashavarnam. Because what is a depression? Depression is a darkness. So over here, you will see that in the second book of, second path of Yoga Darshan, in the verse number 52, he talks about pranayam. Rishi Patanjali, he says, anybody who does pranayam, the light is shining. That means no depression. Depression is darkness. Light is there in a depressed person too. But the light is covered with the darkness. Darkness of the mind, darkness of the mood. But when we do pranayam every day, we can never be depressed. This is the assurance given by yogis, but we have to do it though. So getting up at a fixed time every single day, doing your cleansings, which we have been teaching in these Zoom classes also, at least do neti. Very easy to do. Everybody should do it. No side effects of that. If you don't want to do all advanced yogic cleansings, at least do neti. After neti, do pranayam. After pranayam, do some asanas. You will see that if you start your day every single day, what kind of a light you are going to feel. And if you want to do some meditation, do some prayers also. This depression has not have much power over you then. You become a master of your own mind. Remember, this body is a temple. Make sure whatever you put in there, it's pure, it's a sattvic. Negative thoughts, keep on replacing them with positive thoughts. This replacement also we are going to learn from this Yog Darshan seminars. This replacement is a very important technique. You will see that some of you have learned it. It's called Pratipaksha Bhavana. Replace the negative with the positive, and we have the power to do it. And this is also a Pratipaksha Bhavana replacement. When you see somebody happier than you, more prosperous than you, think that they are your friends. Why do you want to think that, have a feeling of animosity towards them? They are your friends. That's a Pratipaksha Bhavana. Somebody is going through tough time. Pratipaksha Bhavana is have compassion for them rather than thinking that, no, they must have done bad karmas. They are paying for it. No, compassion for them. Okay, so all of these techniques we are going to learn in the next few retreats. You will see that they'll all help us to stay away from this dark mood. So depression, medical science says take antidepressants. Yoga says no. Yoga says get to the bottom of it, get rid of the root problem. What is the root problem of depression? According to the yogis, a person who's depressed is under the clutches of an ego. Do we want to stay under the clutches of ego? No. Clutches of the ego is, hey, this physical body is very important. That's what I am. My accomplishments are me. My relatives are me. My wealth is me. Those are all clutches of ego. The Yogi Guru says, you are part of God. You have been given all these beautiful tools. Use these tools to get out of this cycle of coming back again and again. And in order to do that, live a regulated life. Live a life where you serve others. That's another thing which needs to be done. Anybody who thinks in a sad mood, go out and help. Do some seva. You will forget about your own sorrow. You will get that joy by helping others. So well-regulated life, bring service in your life, exercise properly, meditate every day, study something, learn something new every day. We should never think that I have learned it all. The day we think we have learned it all, we have started slipping down. Learn something new. If you keep on learning something new, you will feel good about yourself. So I know you must have a lot of questions about this, and I don't know what was in your mind when you wanted me to talk about this depression. But before I go to that, your questions, I told you that I'm going to give you the definitions of these 4 terms which normally people use when they talk about depression, because self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-knowledge, what do they really mean? Because there's a lot of confusion about it. What is a self-confidence? Self-confidence is how much you truly believe in yourself and what you can do. How much you truly believe in yourself, that is a self-confidence. And low self-confidence, when you say that it's very hard for me to try new things or reach for new challenges. Normally, anxiety is a natural result of a low self-confidence. You become anxious. Okay? Self-worth. Self-worth is your deeply held feeling about your own value as a person. Okay? Your deeply held feeling about your own value. And low self-worth, you constantly ask this question: am I worthy of the attention and the love I get? Am I deserving of receiving good things in my life? So having low self-worth prevents you from believing in yourself and for claiming what is yours. And what is a self-esteem? Self-esteem is the way you feel about yourself in different areas, like intelligence, personality, appearance, and success. Self-esteem. And when you have a low self-esteem, you always walk down in this world at a one position less. Back of your mind, question comes, am I good enough? Or maybe I'm not good enough. So everything that happens in your life is filtered through that deeply held notion. Even though it's not true, but still there is a doubt in your mind. That is a low self-esteem. Then self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is how well you know your own abilities, talents, capabilities, preferences, likes and dislikes, wants and needs. That is a self-knowledge. So we got to see how well and accurately we see ourselves. Can we predict how well we'll do? How will you feel in certain situations or in certain uncertainties? Are you aware of your own strengths and preferences? Low self-knowledge makes it hard to make good choices. Either you'll be overconfident or underconfident. Or it's very hard to believe in the decisions you make. So you see that all this is so much important. This is about ourselves. Do we really have that kind of a knowledge about ourselves? Our capabilities, our strengths, our weaknesses? Or are we living a life just so superficially? So a person who has a full knowledge, how can that person go into depression? So that's why yogi gurus, they say, do some self-inquiry. Spend some time with yourself. And that a lot of people, they think that they get afraid to spend time with themselves. I've heard people that they would rather keep the TV on when they are home alone because they're afraid. Some noises they need from outside, even though it's from the TV or a radio. We got to learn to live in this solitude. Lord Krishna said, a yogi loves a solitary places. That's why yogis, to do the sadhana, they went into the jungles and the caves. That's where they knew about themselves and found out that they are the part of God and that avarn got extinguished. What is there to be depressed about? Okay, so we have about 20 minutes. So if anybody has a question, they look at depression from a different angle, or if they want to know how to help somebody, just we can talk about that also. Anybody? Jyoti?
Hershji, I just want to ask one thing.
Sure, Rita.
Namaste, Hershji. I
Namaste.
just want to ask, all these yogic things that you do, those are the things person can do when he's healthy, he's not depressed. Once they're depressed, then it's hard to do all this stuff.
Yeah, no, but before you think that you are in a sad mood, okay, it's just like, it's not that from a healthy, all of a sudden a person goes into depression. There are stages, there are signs you see. Try to do that. Okay, or if you are thinking about somebody else in the family, then just guide them towards that. Okay, and even not just all of it, even as one little thing will help. Okay, so from swimming to the sinking, it takes time. There are stages in between also. Okay, ourself also, first we got to learn how to swim ourselves too. So we got to be strong ourselves. We got to be familiar with all this. Live a life of a yogi. Then you'll be able to help somebody too. Okay, yeah. And then some of the techniques, just 1 second, Jyoti, Rita, see, some of the techniques, sure, a healthy person can do, but there are some techniques even a sick person can do. Okay, so there's so many different yogic techniques. Just a simple prayer, holding a mala and doing the mala, sitting down and just breathing in and out, going for a walk, reading a good book. So it's just like wherever we can help somebody or help ourselves, we should. These are the ways to help. Okay. And then another thing we got to always remember, this is our duty to do it. As a human being, we are supposed to get in touch with our real nature. It's not that when we get sick, then we're going to do it. We're going to do it all the time. Okay. Yes, Jyoti.
Vishta,
Yes,
you have a question?
Anji, thank you very much for doing this subject. I think it's really important. You know,
yes.
I'm more interested. I mean, a lot of what you talked about, people who are on this on this call right now are probably able to do it because they're all very like-minded.
That's right.
Is there something like Jo, matlab, something you can do for somebody else where you can do like a job or something just to help them be strong enough to do some of these things?
See, a person who does the job gets the benefit.
Acha. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Somehow, I know there's so many different thoughts about it. But yogic thought is a person who does the job get the benefit. If you have somebody in the family or some friend, job is not going to help. Spending some time with that person will help. Showing your loving care will help. To me, I think job is not the way to do it. Sure, do the job also to keep yourself healthy and so that you can help. But spending time, I think a person who is so sad, so much into the goal, when they are even trying to take their life also,
Right.
because I have seen people like that. A few years ago, I was at the gas station working. Somebody called me that, Didi, I need help. I said, okay, come to the ashram. Spent a few minutes with him. This is like a decision which was made momentarily, whether to go to the railroad tracks or come to the ashram. So if I would have told him, no, I'm at work, I cannot come. Listen to the cries of these people. Spend time with them. Sometimes that's all it takes. That somebody cares for me. That's all. Because they feel very helpless. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
every depressed person doesn't go to that level, but still we have seen enough in our society. So I would say wherever you are, show compassion, show that, hey, I would like to help. Not as a pity, but as a feeling of oneness, that we are one. Bending down and helping somebody. Okay, so it empowers us also, and that's how it helps. Japa, do the japa, but don't rely on the japa alone, please. Okay, there's no magic about that. But a person who does the japa definitely gets stronger because you're connecting with God if you're doing the japa properly. Okay, so it's like a wholesome technique we got to use for ourselves. Eating right, exercise right, cleaning ourselves, putting some new thoughts in, replacing with the old one, bad ones, and feeling oneness, and then going out and helping.
Yeah, the other thing you mentioned was replacing thoughts. Now
Yes.
that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, just generally, what is a method to replace a thought?
Yeah, a message to replace thought is, see, sometimes those thoughts we are aware of, sometimes we are not. Keep on putting new thoughts, good thoughts. It's almost like a bottle, a narrow neck bottle, which has a lot of dirt in it, and it is stuck to the table. How do you clean it? You need to clean that bottle. It's stuck. You cannot take it to the sink and clean it. All you do is pour clean, warm water. Slowly you'll see that the old ones outflow. The same thing we do with this mind of ours also. We don't know what's in there. We don't know for how long and how dirty and old and ugly. Keep on pouring the new good thoughts. And that's what japa is actually. With japa, you are pouring new thoughts into your mind. And pretty soon it's filled with only the godly thoughts. So that's why I said this, you can do it for yourself, not for anybody else. You cannot pour it into their mind. Their mind still has the dirt in it. Right. So for somebody else, we can go out. Ourselves, we can pour something good in there. Okay, and get rid of the old. And we don't need to even know what is outpouring. Whatever is in there, we don't want anything other than the divine thoughts in my mind. That's why yesterday I was mentioning, we don't even want to think about this world. That's why I was surprised that even this little exercise which we started doing, like in Yog Sadhana Ashram on that Siemens, I don't like that. Why they are asking us to like every day? I don't want to take a chance of thinking about something else. Sure, here and there I did it. After that, I want to think about God only. This world just teaches us wrong ways of living. Even when they don't mean it, but still their way of thinking is taking us towards the materialism. So keep on pouring good new thoughts. They will replace. And remember, the divine thoughts are a lot more powerful than those negative thoughts. Negativity does not have more power than the positivity. We all have seen countless times how the darkness goes away the minute sunshine.
And you mentioned something about people who are depressed are level 1 or something. What does that mean? You said something level ya kuch aapne bola. Something about like quantifiably they were at a lower level.
No, it's like, no, I was saying that self-esteem, when you have a low self-esteem, you walk through the world in a one down position. So it's only self-esteem. So they are good, but they think that they are not good enough. Okay. That is a one level down. That's what I meant when I said that.
Achha,
so that you operate from a place of that I'm not good enough. Even though they're good, but they really don't have the self-esteem. And we need to increase our own self-esteem. We need to know who we are. And this all happens, we all know that from our own, like a self-analysis. This is called emotions are very much related with it. Emotionally also we need to be intelligent in order to know this whole picture. See, that's why they say that emotional intelligence has a self-awareness. Emotional intelligence has a self-regulations. Emotional intelligent person is self-motivated. Emotional intelligent person has a social skills also. Doesn't want to hide into the corner. Emotionally intelligent person will have the empathy also. So if we are emotionally intelligent, these days they use that term EI, emotional intelligence. In the past, they used to talk about only IQ. IQ alone is not going to make you successful. You need emotional intelligence. So when emotionally we are intelligent, then you will see that your self-esteem, self-worth, self-knowledge, all of it will be at the right place. Then you won't walk in this life from a lower place. Jyoti, anybody else? Or Nishtha, do you have any other question?
Nini, thank you so much.
Jesse?
Good morning, Hersh. That was a lovely class. Thank you. I think my questions got answered, but I just wanted to add that you all know that my son had depression and turned to drugs, and it was a lot from lack of self-esteem and all those things. But I think I've seen a lot of depression in the family and amongst my friends' children. It's very hard for children these days. It's not an easy world. And I'm glad there's more awareness, but Karan wanted help. He was not in denial. He came to me and said, Mom, I need help. Very dear friend. They've tried everything. He does yoga. They've tried everything. And ago he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So I'm very grateful that Karan could fix his issues. But the clinical depression, and I'm not a doctor, and the degree of depression is so vast. I think one of the most important things going through it with Karan is not to be in denial. You have to embrace it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And
exactly.
Our society open up, and like you said, turn to family, turn to friends, get help. As a society, my husband was so, don't tell anyone. And I said, no, I am going to talk to people who are in the same position and get help. So I just
Yeah.
want to say, know somebody that it's something so close to my heart.
Yeah.
This talk, know somebody out there who needs help.
Yeah,
Just
no,
reach-
that is true. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just like any other disease. It's just like a mental disease. It's a disease. And we should help each other. And I think if we don't speak about it, people won't know about it. Okay, whether we need help or whether we can help. So we are all, see, when we start feeling the oneness between the families, between the society, between the countries, only then we're going to rise above all this. So, so yeah, the person who is going through it definitely need to accept it first.
Yeah.
Acceptance is the key. If you keep on saying, no, it's not me, I'm not, then you cannot. Okay. So,
Today, accept
so I'm
what
glad your son recognized it at an early age and got
Right.
better.
too, but Hershey, if my husband and I were in denial about it, I'm not exaggerating. He wouldn't be here today. He wouldn't be here today. But the person who's going through it needs to want to get better.
Yes.
So how do you get to that point where that was my question. How do you make the person realize that they need help? Because
I think spend time with that person, show the love for that person, because ultimately we are all looking for love. We want to be accepted no matter we are healthy or sick, intelligent or not intelligent, wealthy or not wealthy. We want to feel that we belong somewhere.
Yeah.
See, that's where, whether you want to call it a doctor or a mentor or a guru or a guide, they give us this, that they don't judge us.
Mm-hmm.
They understand it. A good doctor, a good guru, a good mentor, good guide, they will never judge us.
Right.
Or good psychiatrist, they will not judge us.
Okay.
They'll just tell us, yeah, we recognize, but you'll be okay, giving them assurance. See, that's why I always tell you, what does Guru give us? Guru never judges. Guru gives two things, Dhriti and Mati. Mati means the knowledge. Dhriti means belongingness. Because the belonging comes from Dharya. Dharya bandhana. Hey, I am with you. We are one. I'll help you. And that's what a good mother, a good father, a good grandparent, whenever we see somebody, we should do that.
So do you continue doing it until you get the result? Has she said the person is resistant?
You just keep doing it. This is your job. That's it.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's just, we got to make it our habit. If you remember, I'm sure in your family also, certain elderly people, very wise people, the people we looked up to, did they say that when the result is achieved, I'm going to wash my hands? No, they always held our hands. What did they tell us? Even when I'm gone, I'll watch over you. That's what I feel, and that's what I heard from the people I admire. Because they never go. So the same thing, same kind of assurance, we got to give it to our children or anybody else. Okay? That we will help you as much as we can, but you need to do your part too. Okay? So this is definitely, especially during these tough times now, COVID, it's not that everybody will go into depression, but sadness definitely. You see that more and people are sad. It's not depressed. So that's why I said that we should not label it on ourselves that we are depressed. No, people use this depressed word too easily also. Okay, so keep the connection with your mentor, your guru, or psychiatrist, or whoever is helping, and ultimately God. Start developing this relationship. That's why we are here, to develop that ultimate relationship, guys. And if we have that relationship, only then we can pass it on. to the person we are trying to help. Only a seasoned swimmer can help somebody who is drowning. Right? A mediocre swimmer cannot. What will happen to the mediocre swimmer? Will drown. And the other person will drown too. So we got to keep on working on ourselves and keep on helping others wherever we go. Okay? Yes, Jyoti.
Urmil? Ji?
I don't see
Urmil, you have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself, Urmil.
Sorry.
But just see,
Unless it's a
you sharing your story with us, though. Thank you. Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Harji.
Yes.
Now, if anybody who's living with you and is sad or depressed, you can start talking to them or doing your yoga yourself and say, you want to join me, rather than saying, you're getting sad, come and do yoga or pranayam, or just do it in a fun way. Or let's try these breathing exercises, not because you are depressed, but because it's fun, because people resist. Now, the other way is to break into a relationship, because if it is someone, my sister's child, so she's not going to allow me to talk to her, my niece, because she thinks it's her problem and it's like, oh, we are dealing with it. So you can't penetrate sometimes.
Yeah.
And same thing is a child. If I've seen a child who's technically a little depressed, born with a situation that has led to that. So they've been told to do yoga and meditation and medications and therapy and all that stuff. And the parents are paying a lot of attention. But when we want to penetrate and try to help them, we are kept away.
Yes.
And number two, even when I see, I can give so much love that I feel I'm loaded with a desire to give love. Nobody wants to take it. And then they don't want to take it from me because they will create a wall. And number two, instead of giving love,
so this is number 3 now.
This is number 3. The child, they abuse the child because the child is not doing pranayam. Oh, the child is not doing this. The child is not doing calm work. And they get yell at the kids and scream at the kids. How is the kid going to learn pranayam under the circumstances? So when you see these kind of dysfunctional situations, you just sit and watch and not be able to do anything depresses me. So get out of
it. That's why, Urmil, when you see something like this, detach. That's where the Vairagya element comes into. We don't want to get depressed. We want to detach because it's not our thing to do. Okay?
Yeah, but the compassion and the desire to help aborts itself.
Yeah, but if they don't want to get help, just detach. It's okay.
Majority people don't want you.
Yeah. If somebody does want help. If people doesn't want help, then bless them from a distance. That's okay, because we don't want to get sick. It's not going to solve problem. Then there's one person with a problem. Then if we get into that kind of a mood, then there are 2 of us. We don't want to multiply this negativity in the society. We got to work on ourselves and be aware of who needs help, do help them, but in a detached manner. Okay. Yeah, but I see where you're coming from, Urmil. Yes. Yes,
Surakaben, do you have a question, Surakaben?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hannah has the phone.
Yeah, you keep unmuting, so I thought you had a question. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Okay. No.
No?
Jyotika, are you still there?
Okay. If nobody has a question or a comment, then I think
Hershey, I feel I feel if one tries to keep a gratitude journal, okay, that can do so many miracles. You start looking at kids walking on the street without anything, laughing, smiling, giggling, excelling.
Yeah.
And I think where there is no gratitude in the family, depression gets very common.
Yeah.
Entitlement, high egos of the family members, and lack of gratitude for
Yeah.
what is.
Yeah.
Straight, everybody wants to be number one. Straight, everybody wants to be a millionaire without moving a finger or without anything. So unfortunately, or not unfortunately, maybe fortunately, it's less in poorer people, probably, I think. They are happy to have enough for the day. Gratitude. Thank you, God. My God will look after.
Yeah.
That faith. So I think the faith in faith and gratitude in the family, I think if that is brought to attention more often, each one of us does that with our family, with ourselves, depression cannot come close to you. Period.
Yeah, yeah,
It
that's
just
right. That's
cannot.
why, that's
Because
Manju, I was saying that we need to learn to get out of the clutches of ego. Okay, so ego is one word which describes it all. We got to just understand it and just
and the older ones have to be the role example.
Oh yeah, this
role
all
players.
Yeah,
Because
the leader in the family.
Yeah.
All these values they filter down because we have lived life as grandparents. Now we have seen, so we got to just know what to do, where to do, how to really deal with these situations also. So, but definitely this is a problem in the society, which is because people are becoming more and more materialistic, just like you said, Manju. Millionaires, they want to become multimillionaires, and multimillionaires, they want to become billionaires, because that is the goal. The goal the ultimate goal has to be right goal to become good.
It's just not enough. And high expectation from kids also. So much pressure put for number one and number two in life, you know, which is just a number.
Yeah.
It's not a key to the success ever.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't think so.
Prem, you have a question? You have to unmute.
Hershey, I know you mentioned, and I totally agree, that we need to keep pouring positive thoughts when our bottle is very cloggy, very dirty. Just Manjuji, what she said about gratitude is one good thing that we can put. Prayers are another good thing that we can put in there.
Right.
What are some of the other positive thoughts that we could kind of think of and pour into our bottle?
We are part of God. To me, I think there cannot be anything stronger than that. I am part of God. What is lacking? I'm not what I'm saying. I'm not what I am. Yeah, all of this is just a little, that's like a play, drama. The real thing is just me, which is part of God, which is complete, which is beautiful.
I have a feeling when we are depressed, or when someone is depressed, to think of yourself as part of God is probably difficult to do.
Okay, then at that time, do some seva.
Yeah, seva.
Go out and do, work with your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not when we are completely depressed, then we're going to start doing it. We got to bring these elements into our life every day. That's why, what do I say? Every day we should do seva. If we cannot do it every day, at least do every other day. Otherwise, at least do it once a week, no less than that. No less than that. Right away, you will feel good about yourself. I mean, you all have done it. You know that when we really do seva, wherever we do seva, doesn't matter. It is the intention behind the action should be that I want to help somebody. How good it feels. Okay, when we make that part of our life, that's how I'm going to live. I'm going to breathe properly. I'm going to be grateful to God. When we do pranayama, we are already being grateful to God that we are able to breathe. When we do the inverted positions, we feel so grateful automatically that my body is healthy enough, I can lift my legs up and stay there.
The only last question, which is, I don't know if it's a comment or a question. You mentioned somebody called you and they said, Didi, I need help. And you said, come to the ashram. And this person, it was a difference between going to the railway station in front of the railroad or coming to the ashram. So would you say that coming to the ashram meant that that person was meant to live longer, and coming to the railroad was just, that was his day to go?
Yeah, that's right. So, and then to be able to help at the right time.
At the right time.
The right time made a big difference. So we should be alert. See, both ends we should look at it. When we get depressed, look for the help. When we see somebody else crying for help, help right away.
Be there.
Immediately.
But
because I still remember that day, because that was such a, some of the days, it's just, you don't forget. I had 2 calls actually. It was a winter morning. Same time I got 2 calls. I was at work. One is from this person. The other one was from my son. My son, he was in University of Chicago, locked out of his car. It was freezing temperature. Mom, can you bring the other key? For me, there was a decision to make. Should I help my son or should I help this person? I just told my son, I said, call your sister. She can come and help you.
Good for you.
And that's what he did. And I came home and I spent about an hour with this young man.
Great.
So these are like incidents or the occasions given to you by that higher power to really see what's going on in this world. Okay.
And I think what you mentioned, I'm glad you did, that detachment in the end after you tried everything. And the person is in denial and denial and denial. Then comes a time when you really have to detach yourself. And
you got to detach. You are not the God. Do not take responsibility. Do not take the credit. You are just an instrument over here. You are one tiny part.
Yes.
Do not take the full responsibility of helping or not helping.
Not helping.
Do the best you can and yourself stay connected. See, we got to be clear about this whole diagram. Sometimes what happens, we just get fixated only on one part of it. We think we know it all by knowing one part. We got to, the whole scheme. Okay? Yes, Jyoti.
Hersh, Rhonda has a question, and then
yes,
Rita wants to sing if we have time today.
Today, I think Kamla wanted to sing.
आपने बोला था ना कल.
Rita, maybe tomorrow if you come. Okay. So,
I don't.
Yes,
sorry.
Rhonda. Yes.
I don't have a question. I just have a comment. Being from a family where I was depressed clinically, I would say clinically depressed as a child. I think that in the beginning stages for me as a child, having somebody be loving and approachable helped me. Because
exactly.
in the beginning for me, just to be able to know that somebody was loving and accepting and non-judgmental, there were people in my life I could go to. And then down the line, I had to seek other help, help. And then, of course, when I met you, it was another step that I took towards recovery. So yeah, I just think love, and I've been hearing, what can I do? What could I do to connect with God? And it's like mantras I was thinking about, just mantras helped as well for me, meditation and mantras and groups, getting together in groups.
Yeah, Randa, this is what when Nishtha said japa, that's a mantra. It's like a repetition of a mantra is a japa. But a person who is so depressed cannot do it. So she said that, can we do it? I said, you can do it for yourself. The person has to be ready, just like you were ready. Right?
Yeah, you have to be able to.
You got to do it yourself.
Ask for help.
Yeah, that's definitely. Okay. So anybody else, Jyoti?
No, I think that's it. Pramila.
Okay.
Oh, Pimi, sorry. Pimi had a question.
Yes, Pramila.
Pramila.
We go through so much education and all that. How do we teach our younger generation to, they are so focused on the job and so much competition they have at work, to really have gratitude and faith in this society? They are just struggling and they want to be number one and all that. Have to have great faith and be focused and become number one. It is a very competitive society.
Yeah, let them, Pramila, I would say, let them live their life. Time will come when they get a few kicks in their butts, they'll be ready. We all got to learn our own lessons. Just at this stage in life, don't worry. Just be a good role model.
Just like we did. Just like how we did.
Yeah. So they will learn it. When their time comes, they will learn it. Okay. So because right now, if they are not ready and we try to tell them, they're going to think you're crazy. And then you will get deviated away from your paths. You just do what you need to do. Okay. Stay happy, calm, enjoy your life, keep on learning, because in third stage in life, we are supposed to learn about this spirituality. This is our job. The kids are still in the second stage in life. Let them go through this competition and all that. One day they'll understand too. Okay.
Hershey, that is good for us as adults to, detach from the kids. But I was just thinking, you said the reason for depression was abuse, emotional, physical, right? So
yes, definitely.
when you see somebody, let's say, not necessarily physically abusing, then we have 911, I guess. But let's say we see emotional kind of a pressure and abuse, and you see that in future, this is going to create a very depressed person. And chances are they will shut you out. They won't let you jump in.
That's what I said.
That's exactly what I was understanding when Urmil said something. You see the children, especially, they are the ones who are going to become depressed adults. So that's where how you want to, then how do you just stay detached? Because you also feel guilty that you could change the course and you are unable to do it. You see the writing on the wall, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, because it's not your responsibility.
It is not your responsibility.
You got to look at it. What is your responsibility?
Then you play the game of karma. Whatever is the karma.
Yeah, you got to work on it. That don't feel guilty. Guilty is a tamsika.
Yeah. Okay. But then I think
watch your own ways.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are not the controller of your children or grandchildren's destiny.
No, it is not even those people. Maybe you can still jump in, but there are people, let's say, related to you, around you, and you see that, and there is nothing you are allowed to say or do in that of those situations.
No, sometimes you see that's where our own wisdom comes into the picture. Sometimes we can say the things, because what you are talking about is, I experienced that too with my children treating their own children. So because their way of raising the children is a little different. So there is a time to teach our children, maybe not at that moment, but aside from that, you can, when they are in a listening mode, to talk to them. Then you won't feel.
I was talking about some relatives. Our children, I think we can still jump in, but some relatives, and you see that you watch and there is nothing you can do about it, and you know the writing on the wall right there, that this kid is gonna have major emotional issues if the parents don't lay off that kind of a pressure or that kind of a
language or whatever. So
Yeah.
then you start thinking, what do you do? And then you maybe, for me, it is always, I say, it's maybe the karma of the child and the parents together. I can't do anything about it, and I walk away.
It's like
But it's hard.
It's hard, but Poonam, each situation could be different. And some places, if we can make a difference, we should. But in most of the places, the other adults who are responsible for it, they are not going to listen to you.
They're not going to
I
listen.
muddy the situation. To me, I
Yeah.
would rather stay detached. That's how, personally, that's how I handle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we all create our own destinies.
Okay.
Yes, I think, oh gosh, this topic, I thought this will be a simple topic. And then why is Mr. saying to talk about depression, but looks like everybody.
This should be workshop.
It's
Yeah.
almost 10 to 12. So Kamla, please.
Okay.
And then Rita, maybe next Wednesday you can. I know only Wednesday you come. So Kamla, maybe you can start doing it on Thursday then. Okay. So Rita likes to sing on Wednesdays, but today Kamla, please do sing.
तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान किसने देखी तेरी सूरत कौन बनावे तेरी मूरत किसने देखी तेरी सूरत कौन बनावे तेरी मूरत तू है निराकार है भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान सागर तेरी शान बतावे पर्वत तेरी शोभा गावे सागर तेरी शान बतावे पर्वत तेरी शोभा गावे हारे ऋषि मुनि सब ये आन बना मन मंदिर आलीशान तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान किसने जानी तेरी माया किसने भेद तुम्हारा पाया किसने जानी तेरी माया किसने भेद तुम्हारा पाया तेरा रूप अनूप महान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान तूने राजा रंक बनाए तूने भिक्षु राजा बनाए तूने राजा रंक बनाए तूने भिक्षु राज बिठाए तेरी लीला इश है महान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान तेरी लीला इश है महान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान तेरे पूजन को भगवान बना मन मंदिर आलीशान थैंक यू जी
Thank you very much, Kamla. Very sweet. Very